Okay. You know what? I've got shivers up the back of my spine, my neck. It's going to be fantastic to see it on players' shoulders again. It's incredible. When you see this jersey, you know it's a Lions year. You're wearing a Lions jersey, and players will be playing international rugby knowing there's a Lions tour at the end of it. And I think the uniqueness of that experience and the journey into a jersey, I think, is something you never forget. And certainly when you put it over your head, it's something you'll never forget. I grew up in Leeds, and all my school days and rugby club days were all based in Leeds. This is where I learnt the trade. We played rugby league up to the age of, till I left this school. I used to be over 100 or more children in here, and this is where your footwork started with, because we weren't allowed a ball. Used the stuffed plimsoll with socks and played touch and pass in here, passing a shoe around. But everything else here, no different. No different. Hi. So the photograph was taken, it would have been taken in front, about there, literally against this wall. I did give the school a Lions jersey, but the previous headmaster retired and took it with him, apparently. My father was a regular soldier. He went to Queen Victoria School, Dunblane. He went to North Africa during the Second World War. He got wounded on coming off Crete. He was sent to Leeds for recovery, which is where he met my mother. My mother was a good Yorkshire lady, and I think my dad realised that if they were getting married, he would be living in Yorkshire. But it was very much the big family was in Glasgow. My father was very unselfish. He just supported everything, really. He had 2 jobs so that we could make ends meet. He'd work up to 5 o'clock, have his meal in the evening, then go out again at 7 and work till 11. One thing I remember, and we were playing football outside, and when I came in, and my dad was in our bedroom just on the windowsill with his arms folded, just watching, and he'd been watching the football. And all he said to me was, "This is what peace should be." And then you suddenly realised just what that generation had been through. This is where we played, and we'd just spend the whole afternoon just playing and kicking a ball around with all my mates. People talk about how many hours it takes to learn a skill. The street games give you that. You just repetitive, just playing. Never got fed up of it. This does take me around. Look, this is exactly what we used to do. Chase each other over the ruins. Not thinking about what the ruins were. I should never have played rugby union, and I wouldn't have. Football was my first love. It was talking about scoring the winning goal at Wembley in an FA Cup final. And it was playing cricket, for Yorkshire and England. This is where we played cricket, here. To me, it was like Headingley. It was like a test match arena, because you're just surrounded. If you got it onto the footpath, it was 4, 6 if you could hit the walls. I was invited to the nets as a 16-year-old. So, and then I'd bowl people like Geoffrey Boycott, you know, and if you didn't bowl right to him, you knew about it. When I was in the Colts at Headingley, it was the coach coming with his car to pick me up on a Sunday morning to go training, because we didn't own a car, and there were no buses on a Sunday. I still think I was lucky in the sense that I had some very good school teachers. But the two PE masters happened to be rugby union men, so the school played rugby union. The last 2 years at school, I think we only lost 2 games, and the grammar schools wouldn't play us. They didn't want to be beaten by this crowd from a secondary modern school. When I started playing rugby at Headingley, I got in the first team, and I was playing for the school in the morning and then the first team in the afternoon. My father put £5 in my pocket so that I could buy stand drinks at the bar as part of the team. After he died, my mum said, "You realise your dad walked to work the last 2 days of the week," and it still gets me. That's the sort of support that my brother and I had. If I was going to play international rugby, I wanted to play for Scotland. I don't have many regrets, but probably my big regret is that he never actually saw me play. My first cap, there was the Queen Victoria School band there and the Argylls. The bandmaster came across and he said, "How's your father?" He said, "I was at school with him." I just said, "Well, you know, fortunately he's passed away." And he just said, "Well, I'm very sorry, but nice man." You get those feelings sometimes that you know he's there, and I certainly did at that time. Genuinely felt, well, maybe that was just a touch. '68, Lions went to South Africa, and that's the year I got my first trial for Scotland. And then you were playing in trials with players who'd been on tour. And that's where the Lions sort of comes into focus. But the one that kicked it off for me was '71, when they went to New Zealand with Cowan James and won that tour.
John Williams, the fullback. Oh, he turned well. John Courageous Williams hit that one straight and true.
It was a letter through the postbox for Home Union's Tours Committee. You have been invited to tour with the Lions to South Africa. Please indicate on the bottom whether you will be available to go or something. Yeah, I had to fill this slip in and send it back. I remember going in, there was a hotel in London. Funnily enough, in the entrance hall was Gareth Edwards and Willie John. And as I came through the door, I got my bags and things, and a suitcase that an aunt and uncle had bought me because I didn't have a big suitcase. And so I'm coming in with these bags, and Gareth turned round and came across straight away with his hand out to shake hands, and Willie John followed. Gareth will never remember this, never remember it, and he just said, "Great to have you with us." And Willie John shakes hands, and he said, "Crikey, this is where I am now." But it was that acceptance straight away. You were into something with a group, and you weren't an extra, you weren't an add-on. This was straight from the word go. You were part of this group. This is an interesting one. This is an LP of the 1977 Lions singing our favourite songs. Whether it'll still work now, I don't know, but I think I had to lead on Don't Cry For Me, Argentina. First time we put a Lions jersey on, you know, Potchefstroom, and I'm looking round at who's playing, who I'm playing alongside, and you actually get a confidence of playing, and I think that's what you hope others, you know, when I've been coaching and everything else, get that same feeling that this is a bit special, but also I'm not afraid of taking this on. Quite interesting, it's still got the mud on it, this jersey. This was one of my Lions test jerseys. We had a test match with them with the mud still on. I kept it on and didn't wash it. I was assistant coach with Scotland at the time, and I got a phone call to say Clive Rowlands would like you to consider being head coach for the Lions next year in Australia. Again, Judy and I sat down. I said, she's now doing a 4-year honours degree, full-time, with 2 young children, saying, you won't believe this conversation I've just had over the phone. And we sat down, we talked about it, and she just said, you can't not do it.
It's make or break for the Lions this afternoon.
A Lions test team is so important, but a Lions tour is made by the non-test team. The ones who are not playing, who are not picked in those big games, the environment, the approach and the attitude actually keeps it on the rails or takes it off the rails.
And now Campese and Evans. Oh, this is terrible stuff. It's a try. Amazing scenes here in the closing stages. That's it. The Lions have won the series by 19 points to 18. Unbridled joy for them.
Every opposition team captain was presented with a Lions pennant with the year on. And this is the one from one of them from 1989. And a bit special for me because the pennants went to opponent, and Clive Rowlands, the manager, had kept one on one side. And after we'd won the 3rd test and we went back to the hotel, he got it out and just called me forward in front of the players and presented me with the pennant, just for something he said you should never forget. We got Gethin Jenkins, Sheridan, Flannery. Well, it's Flannery, Mears, Ford. I hadn't anticipated coaching the Lions again.
The Lions of 2009 enter the arena here in Durban, and the enormity of their task starts to hit home more than ever before. Here comes the captain! What a start for the whole of South Africa! Mike Phillips, there's the try! And the Lions have been sliced open again. Connie's going straight! Must be finished! The belief that was there at the end in Durban, it's still here! Oh, it's a penalty! Why? And that's it! It's official! The wait is over for South African rugby.
They'd lost the 2nd test in Pretoria. I wanted them to win in a Lions jersey. Whether you win a test series or not, you come off a field with a Lions jersey on and you've beaten South Africa or you've beaten New Zealand, beat Australia, whoever it is, you'll never feel the same again. This group had been so good as a group of players. I wanted them to have that feeling of winning in a Lions jersey.
Today will determine what we are. It will say everything about us. And the biggest thing about what you earn in this jersey is a respect and a reputation. We can leave a legacy. And this last game in this jersey for the players to pick up in 4 years' time. And for 4 years, we can leave something that makes sure when people think about the Lions, they think good. They'll think about you, they'll think about this performance, and they can live with it for 4 years. And some of you might be there to pick up the next jersey in 4 years' time. Some of us won't be. Please, please, give them something to play for, something to understand. Good luck. But play for everything that we want that jersey to be and everything you've made it so far.
power of chemistry, I think, and relationships which rugby builds on and off the field, I think is immense. And that's what I hope the game never loses. And that is why the Lions are so special.
Here comes Monya! Monya's away! He's punching the air! It won't be a series win, but there are great qualities in this squad.
What you put into it and then what comes out of it is something that lives with you. I hope I've just tried to be a good Lion.